Hi, this is Suresh Khanna. This presentation is about requirement elicitation technique, requirement elicitation. Let me start my presentation with a quote that is said by Steve Corner. The most difficult part of requirement gathering is not the act of recording what the user wants, it is the exploratory development activity extinguishing through what they want. What they want. Then what is requirement elicitation? It is a practice of researching and discovering the requirements of a system from user, customer, and other stakeholders. It is also known as requirement gathering technique. Basically, the requirement elicitation is the process of collecting requirements from the stakeholders which will be needed for the project product, and the stakeholder is a person who involves directly or indirectly into the project. And the requirement elicitation techniques are also known as requirement gathering technique. Then what is requirement gathering techniques? The techniques describe how the given task or activity are performed under the certain circumstances. The task may have one or more related techniques. The requirement elicitation practice includes interview, questionnaire, prototyping, brainstorming, etc. Basically, the requirement gathering technique is about how the activities are performed under the certain circumstances, and the given project may have one or more techniques like brainstorming, prototyping. The requirement elicitation includes the techniques like interview, questionnaire, prototyping, surveys, storyboarding, prototyping, etc. Then what is brainstorming? Basically, the brainstorming is a group activity technique with which the efforts are made to find a conclusion for a specific problem by gathering the list of ideas spontaneously contributed by its members. In other words, brainstorming is a technique where a group of people meet to generate new ideas and solutions for the given problem. Yeah, basically, brainstorming is a group activity technique. That is a main point in the brainstorming. Basically, it is a group activity technique where the group of stakeholders, a group of team members, generate lot of new ideas for the given problem. And then, why do we need brainstorming? Brainstorming helps team members generate a large number of ideas quickly, which can be refined and merged to create an ideal solution. Brainstorming encourages open, ongoing collaboration to solve problems and generate new innovative ideas. Brainstorming introduces different perspectives and opens the door to out of the box innovation thinking. And brainstorming is great for team building. Then basically, why do we need brainstorming? Among this point, the most important point of the brainstorming is it introduces the out of box thinking, which is the most important part for the project. And it is a great process of building the team building, and it can generate ideas in a stipulated amount of time, which can be merged and proposed for the given problem as a solution. And brainstorming encourages open and ongoing collaboration to solve problems and generate innovative ideas. And then why do we need brainstorming? The requirement elicitation. Then brainstorming is used in requirement gathering to get as many ideas possible from a group of people. Generally used to identify possible solutions to problem and clarify details of opportunities. And brainstorming has two phases, namely idea reduction and idea generation. As we then as we discussed earlier, basically the brainstorming is a technique where a group of people generate generate ideas for the given problem. It is the same as in the requirement elicitation. The requirement elicitation where a group of stakeholders or people or team members or group of members generate ideas, as many ideas for the given problem, and it is used to identify the possible solution and clarify the what are the opportunities we have, like what are the features we can develop, why do we need this feature, and what are the things we can improve the product like that. And it has two phases in the idea reduction and idea generation. The phases of brainstorming. Basically, the brainstorming has two phases: idea reduction and idea generation. Idea generation. It is a creativity process, a procedure that company uses in order to figure out the solution for the problem. The main goal during the idea generation generate as many ideas as possible. The goal is breadth of data, not the necessary depth. Basically, yeah. So basically, the idea generation phase is about the idea generation phase is about the it is basically it is creativity process. The main goal of the idea generation process is to generate as many ideas possible, as many ideas as possible the given amount of time. And the main mode of the idea reduction phase is the goal is the breadth of the idea, not the necessary depth. It means we should propose as many ideas as possible. We should not look for the fault with the idea. The fault with the idea should be discussed in the next stage, which is called as idea reduction. The idea reduction, the reduction of the idea which has been proposed. The phase of the brainstorming. Next comes the idea reduction. The reduction of the idea which has been proposed. The primary goal of the idea reduction is to analyze all the ideas which have been generated. The idea reduction includes pruning, organizing, ranking, exporting, grouping, and refinement like this. Yeah. Basically the idea reduction is the phase where the reduction of ideas will happen, like the similar ideas or duplicated ideas will be eliminated. The main goal of the idea reduction phase will be to analyze all the which have been proposed by the stakeholders or group or team members during the idea generation phase, and they will eliminate the ideas which are similar and which are duplicated. And the idea reduction it includes phase like pruning, organizing, defining the features, prioritizing, etc. We will look into the phases the upcoming slides. The pruning of ideas. The first step is to prune the ideas that are not worthy for the invest by the group. The facilitator asks the participant whether each idea is worthy for further consideration and removes the invalid data. The presence of ideas that can be easily pruned as is indicated quality process. Basically, the pruning of ideas is the pruning of idea stage is support. It's about the discussion of ideas which are not worthy for the investment by the group of organization or by the company for the given project. The facilitator asks the participants whether each idea is worthy of the future further consideration, removes the invalid data. Basically, a facilitator is a person who helps us to achieve a common objective, to solve a problem for an organization, for a company or a team. The presence of ideas that can be easily poured in the indicator and quality process. Then what is grouping ideas? It may be helpful during the process to start groups similar ideas in the process. They may be specifically focused on capabilities of system and what the support various users. Basically, the grouping idea phase. Basically, the grouping of the ideas which are similar. The ideas which are similar have been proposed by the stakeholders. They will group together and they look for which has been better and they will be looking for the ideas which has been proposed by the stakeholders, and they will compare the ideas which idea is better, which idea is new feature performance, and which idea does better user interfaces, and they may be specifically focused on the capability system and what they support various users. For example, the feature may be grouped by package, routing, customer service, and marketing, gateway services. Then what is the different process? In this process, the facilitator goes through this process. The facilitator walks through the idea that has been pruned and asks as someone to provide one sentence description. Yeah, this gives the contributor the opportunity to further describe the feature and help ensure the participants have a common understanding of the feature. Example, defect frame system automatic application. For example, defining the feature of the system. In this process, basically the facilitator is the person who will achieve a common objective or help to solve the problem. In this defining feature stage, the idea which has been not proved, and also the idea which has been not proved, and the idea which has been selected for the next stage will be discussed in this phase. It means in the sense that the stakeholders or the group members will be asked to write a small descriptive sentence about the given feature. This gives the contribute default training system. It will automatically send the notifications. If you take the another example, if you take the bank ATM machine, we can easily see the last 5 transactions. We can see the entire transaction which has been happened from the starting. That will be one of the features in the banking system. Then what is prioritization? In some situation, the generation of idea is the only goal and the process is the complete. However, in most settings, including the requirements workshop, it will be necessary to prioritize the ideas that remain after pruning. After all, no development team can do everything that can be happened, can ever think of. Once the grouping has stabilized and have been agreed to, it is time to move on the next step. Basically, the prioritization, we can in simple terms we can define prioritization, the activity of sorting our ideas in order of importance. It is necessary and it is necessary to prioritize ideas that remain after pruning. We can categorize the priority into 3 ways. One is for example, if we take the project, project which we are going to implement, we can categorize in 3 ways. One is the one which we are going to implement immediately, and second which we are going to build a release for the upcoming version, and then we can say it as one which will be used for upcoming technologies or trending technology or new technologies. And we will describe the prioritization techniques using 2 ways which are using routinely. The one is the cumulative voting. Then another method is the critical important useful categorization method. Then cumulative voting. The cumulative voting. This test is fun, simple, fair, and easy to do. Each person is given $100 of idea money to be spent on purchasing ideas. Each participant is asked to write down the ideas on a sheet of paper and how they will spend the money on each idea. Then after the participants had a chance to vote, the facilitator tab the results and provide an order of ranking. Basically, the cumulative voting method is also called as $100 method, $100 test, and it is a straightforward method and it is a simple method. It is fun, fair, and easy to do compared to other alternative methods. In this method, each person is given $100 of money to be spent on purchasing idea. Then each participant will be asked to write the ideas on the sheet of paper, and they will be determining how much money can be spent on each idea. Then after all the participants or stakeholders or the team members will be given a chance to vote. Based on the voting result, the facilitator tabulates the results and provide an order of ranking, which can be based on the ranking, the ideas will be proceed further development. Then comes the critical important useful categorization. In this technique, each participant is given a number of votes equal to the number of ideas, but each vote must be categorized as critical, important, useful. This the trick in this technique is the rule that each stakeholder is given only 1/3 of the votes from each category. Therefore, only 1/3 of it can be considered as basically in this technique each participant is given a number of votes are equal to the number of ideas, but each vote must fall under any one of these categories. They are critical, important, useful. We will see the definitions for the critical important in upcoming slides. Basic critical means indispensable and suggesting the stakeholder will not be able to use the system without this feature. Important means that there could be a significant loss of customer, utility, purpose, even market share or revenue, new customer segments or without the feature. Useful means nice to each stakeholder will give 1/3 of the votes from each category. We will see critical first. Critical means without the feature, the product will not be successful or exist. For example, if you take the online ticket booking system, if you don't have the feature of what you can say, online payment mode or purchasing of snacks or the referring and getting the coupons and discount price. This will be failure if we won't have this feature. Then comes the important means that there could be a significant of the customer utility purpose, even mark share revenue new customer segment without the feature. Without this, for example, if you take the game for example, if you take the 3D games and all, without the most of the teenage people will be looking for the more obstacle or more difficulty in level, and they'll be expecting new graphics, new sounds, new player movements and stuff like that. Useful means useful means we can define user friendly or eco-friendly. User friendly means we can say it as the particular will be user friendly. It will be, we can say it will be used to all ages people, user friendly software. Then comes the rules of brainstorming. Then what are the rules of brainstorming? We should don't all of our debate. We should focus on the quality of it. Give people some time to think on their own idea. Make sure everyone share at least one idea. Use simple words, avoid using technical terms. Record on the ideas and propose that when it comes to rules of brainstorming, we should always speak. We should always speak in simple words, and we should avoid technical terms, and we should not allow for the debating. Brainstorming is an art. It is not in debate. We should focus on the quantity of ideas, not the quality of ideas. Later, we can in the idea reduction phase we can sort out the quality of the ideas which is not quality, and we should make sure that everyone in everyone in the team at least share one idea, and we should record every idea which has been proposed by everyone. Then comes the type of brainstorming. We can categorize the brainstorming as live brainstorming, web-based brainstorming, and mind map is a technique which is used in the brainstorming. Obviously, brainstorming. All through brainstorming can be approached in many different ways. The simple process we describe as proved effective in a variety of settings. For all the significant stakeholders gathered into one room and supplies are distributed. The index cards are used, pushpin software as well as large screen stuff like calculator. Basically, most of the brainstorming will be happening in the live sessions. It is a simple process compared to other alternative methods. It is an effective method. The live brainstorming will be happen like this. Basically, the stakeholders or team members or participants will be gathered in a room, and the supplies will be distributed like a pen, paper, flashcards, then boards. Basically, they will be bombarding the ideas which they will be generating a lot of new ideas which should be relevant to the project, and they'll be producing a lot of content. They'll be producing quantity of ideas, and they will be collaborating with new people, and they will be accepting the other ideas, the other colleague ideas too, and they will share ideas to everyone. And it is an effective method compared to other alternative method. Then comes the web-based brainstorming. Basically, but sometimes the live brainstorming is not possible in this situation. An alternative used to be web-based brainstorming establishment discussion group. These techniques may be particularly suited for developing advanced application. These techniques may be particularly suited for developing advanced application for which the research is required for long-term view critical. The concept is initially possibly or widely read by a significant number of users and other stakeholders, including stuff like this. Basically, when it comes to web-based brainstorming, in some situations, like for example, if you take the pandemic situation, it is not possible to conduct the live brainstorming with proper what can we say, social distancing and all. In such cases, or in some other in some circumstances, the live brainstorming process. In this, even the alternative will be web-based brainstorming. The web-based brainstorming will be the establishment of discussion group in the online mode, like the Zoom meeting or Google meeting, or we can say Google Duo meeting, like such like that. Mainly, the web-based technique will be useful for developing advanced application. For advanced application, which maybe the research is required, or the concept is very critical, or initially it will be automated, or where it is significant number of users and other stakeholders, a very large number of stakeholders inputs are input, then it will be good for going for a web-based brainstorming. Then comes the mind mapping. Mind mapping is one of the technique in a brainstorming method. The mind map is a visual representation of idea consisting of words, image, and color, help us to focus on the idea. Mind map has proven popularity, particularly it is better able to understand data visually instead of the stress or output. Basically the mind map is one of the ideas one of the techniques in the, what can we say,
brainstorming. It is a visual representation of ideas that consists of the word, images, colors, and it is a visual representation for ideas. And it is the most popular method. It is the most successful method compared to other methods. Then comes the pros and cons of brainstorming. Pros: it helps you to come out with new innovative ideas. It has equal participate. Then it has equal participation for defining the problems and solution. It promotes creativity. Cons: it is always not a right choice for everybody. Time consuming. It may be lead to debating. And then when it comes to pros, basically the main mode of the brainstorming will be coming with new ideas, and it promotes team building, and then collaboration with team members, and promotes creativity as well as. When it comes to cons, it is not everyone will be agreeing with the brainstorming method. Some will be going for interview method, some will be going for questionnaire method, some will be going for survey method, some will be going for what can we say prototyping method, stuff like that. And the brainstorming is time consuming, and it might be lead to debating. For example, if I say one feature, the other stakeholder will not agree with my requirement for the product. It might be lead to debating. These are the pros and cons of brainstorming. For the reference for this presentation, I used the Managing Software Requirements book by the team Leffingwell and Don Wildreg, and I used from the materials from Google. I would like to conclude my presentation with a quote: "Never stop learning because life never stops teaching." Thank you everyone for watching this video. All is well.